on today. Current affairs. Big A, Big A, Big A, Big A, Big A. Current affairs. Yeah, with Big A. Wake up, tap in, Big A, back in. Headlines, hard facts, cut through the spin. From the block to the globe, truth in every quote. On the line, gotta let the people know. Current affairs with Big A, say what they won't say. Hey, we'll talk right now, every day turn it up, turn that day. Current affairs with Big A, breaking through the haze. If it matters, it's on today. Current affairs, Big A, Big A, Big A, Big A, Big A.
Hey, what's going on? Shalom, family. Your boy Aharon Yasharahla, or better known as Big A. To all my youngsters out there, all my old heads out there who know who I am from back in Ohio days when I was residing there. But how y'all doing, family? It is indeed a blessing to be here this morning, this evening, this afternoon, whenever you can listen to my beautiful voice and see my great mug. Again, you all, I'm so happy to be out here. Hey, how you doing, Mrs. Russell? Ephraim, how y'all doing? I'm glad to see y'all popped on up in there. Did you like that new song, Big A? Big A? I loved it. I loved it. All praises to the Most High, and thank you for those who put that together. Listen, it's the best squad I've ever been with, you know. So before I jump into tonight's broadcast, the topics I do have, I just want to let you all know to stay prayed up. There are some sicknesses going around. I'm myself really just getting over something. I started off with a severe sore throat. It really started to subside today, all praises to the Most High. And then it's turned into a cough. The cough didn't last too long because I kept myself medicated with herbs. You know, I took a little bit of Robitussin, a little bit of nighttime just to help me sleep. But I know that I was not feeling too well. It didn't keep me down. I kept going to work because, you know, I got to work. But I was snoring, y'all. Like, my wife was like, whoa, I had to turn up the TV just so I could not hear you snore. You know that's bad when your wife turns up the TV and you snoring because you snoring. Yeah, you know. How you doing, Ephraim? Hey, Big A. That's what they call me. That's what they call me, and I appreciate that. I can't dispute that. But why, if y'all seen me in person, I'm not that tall of a person, right? But why are the short people got the big names and the big people got the little names? Like Tiny Lister, rest in peace. You know, he wasn't no small guy. He had a small name. My name, they call me Big A. My homeboy said it one day, like, yo, Big A. He was short like me, and then rung a bell. I'm like, okay. I've lived my life like I'm big, like I'm tall. But, you know, that's just goes to show my spirit, my soul that the Most High gave me. But anyway, family, I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Anyway, this tonight is not going to be, it's kind of solemn, the things I'm bringing about. We see what's going on in the world. We see, as the scriptures say, wars and rumors of wars. And that brings me to the saying of the day. You know, I always start off, or at least I try to, with the saying of the day. And tonight's saying of the day, family, comes from the good old Bible. And again, I'm not a prophet. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a deacon or a bishop. I'm just telling you things that I've learned and things that I've read. And this actually comes from, again, the saying of the day from the book of Matthew, which is in the New Testament, and starting at chapter 24, verse 6 through 8, which basically pertains to what we're going through right now. So I'll go ahead and read that. Matthew 24, 6 through 8, which is this evening's saying of the day. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places, as we see now. Verse 8 and final verse, all these are the beginnings of sorrows. That was Matthew 24:6-8, which is tonight's saying of the day. Now, I wanted to pick that, family, because of what we have going on right now, right? But first, with my first article that I want to bring about, which is entitled Georgia School Shooting 2024, Colin and Colt Gray. If y'all remember a tragic school shooting back in 2024 that was in Georgia, and to be exact, the name of the school, actually, reading my notes here, was the Appalachian High School in Georgia. So let me go ahead and read what I do have written down here, because when I came across it, it jogged my memory, because people, we soon forget quickly. We forget things quickly. So let me jog you all's memory. There was a guy named Colin Gray who was found guilty on all charges, including second-degree murder, back in September 4th of 2024. Shalom, sister. How you doing? I'm glad you could be here. And this happened at Appalachian High School in Georgia. Now, there was a guy named Colin Gray, as I just mentioned, who got charged for this tragic incident, this shooting. However, it's a twist to it. The shooting was actually done by his 14-year-old son at the time, whose name was Colt Gray, right? So I'm looking at this, I'm like, wow, okay, this is, because the way the article read, it talked about the father, who was not the actual shooter, it was the son. So the father's name, family, is Colin Gray, and the son at the time, his name was he was 14 at the time in 2024. His name is Colt Gray. So this actually is very significant for the history of Georgia, because this was the first time in the state of Georgia, in the history of Georgia, that a parent had been criminally liable for a school shooting committed by their child. So let me give you all a timeline. Happy Brew Year to you too, sis. Let me give you all a timeline. So back in May of 2023, the Grays, both Colin, the dad, and Colt Gray, threatened online to shoot up a school, where they were actually interviewed by the FBI for doing this threat. And if you make a threat online, the authorities, the FBI, whoever it may be, the cops, they take it seriously. So they were questioned and interviewed by the FBI. And that was in May of 23. Now, fast forwarding to December, a few months later of 23, Colin Gray, the dad, after all of this interviewing by the FBI and the police in that area, he actually bought a firearm. And this firearm is very, very powerful. And it is a Sig Sauer M400 AR style rifle. I'll repeat that if you don't know your guns. A Sig, S-I-G, Sauer M400 AR style rifle. And he bought this and he gifted this to his 14-year-old son. Now, what father will give their son, especially at 14, a kid who's struggling to find himself, most likely has some mental issues, because we all did, simply because we're trying to find ourselves. Now, some of us really, or some people really have some mental issues because they are unstable. They have some loose screws. They are 4 fries short of a Happy Meal. The light does not go all the way to the top, right? Whatever you want to say, you know. So, but what father does that for a young boy, right? And not even boys, girls too. But in this case, it's a boy. And that was in December 2023. He bought this boy a high-powered AR-style rifle. Now, jumping to the spring and slash summer of 2024, Colt, who was the son who actually did the shooting, he told his father that he was hearing voices, which actually showed mental instability in the boy. Now, being a father again, or a mother, and you know your son is hearing voices, why would you buy a boy that's like that any kind of firearm? I mean, at that point, it's on the parent. And that is exactly what happened, right? So then we go to September the 3rd of 24. Colt, the boy, he skipped school. That was September 3rd, 24. And then on September 4th, 24, all heck breaks loose, family, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read you all the timeline that I have on that day, that fatal day of September 4th, 2024. 8:15 a.m., family, the school day begins. At 9:42 a.m., Colt texts his father, "I'm sorry, it's not your fault. You're not to blame for any of it, Dad." 2 minutes later, 9:54 a.m., Colt leaves his second period class claiming he has to go to the counseling office. All right? 9:59 a.m., Colt's mother calls a school counselor to warn of an extreme emergency, mentioning Colt has access to firearms. Now, his mom called in, right? Now, from 10 a.m. to 10:20, school resource officers search for Colt but accidentally apprehend a different student with a similar name. This happens all the time. Happens all the time. Just a slip of the tongue. People don't listen. You have to use active listening, right? At 10:21, Colt, the boy, emerges from a bathroom wearing yellow work gloves and carrying the rifle, which had been concealed in his backpack. So he got on the school bus with this gun in his backpack. At 10:22, family, the shooting begins. Colt Gray, that's his name, Colt Gray, attempts to re-enter his algebra class, but is locked out. He then opens fire in the hallway in a nearby classroom. At 10:26, let me see, the school resource officers confront Colt in the hallway. He immediately surrenders and is taken into custody at 10:26. Now, what happened was that Colin Gray, let me go back. Colin Gray, the father, was found guilty on all charges, including second-degree murder. Although Colin, the father, Colin Gray, didn't do any of the shooting. However, he put the weapon in the 14-year-old son's hands. Here you go, boy. Knowing the boy had issues. Now, if that boy had issues, we know, we can assume, family, that father had issues. And of course he did. I'm not going to sit here and buy my son, my daughter, my nephew, my niece, anyone, a friend, any kind of firearm, anyone, and just give it to them. Gift it to them. No, 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 no. If you want a firearm, what you're going to have to go do is put your name on that book. Put your name on that book. And that's it. I can take you down there to do my just due, but I'm not going to, if I know you got a mental illness, I'm not going to do that anyway. But I'm sure it's not going to get you a gun. And I don't condone violence of any kind. People say guns kill. No, people kill people with guns. That's what happens. People get too loosey-goosey, might be gone off that goose, who knows, and they just start getting mad, getting to their feelings, and they commit an Eminem. Remember that movie, The Wash, when he came back with that gun? That's why I alluded to that. So, I mean, there are so many things going on, family. That's why I always say stay prayed up and fast. Because this was a spirit that really drove this boy over the edge. This was a spirit that coerced his father to even consider getting a gun for the boy. He's a boy, 14 years old, he's a minor, still cannot make decisions for himself. People need to think and think logically and stop doing shalom, shalom, how you doing, naturals? What's going on? And just stop doing the wrong thing. As the scriptures say, stop doing evil, learn to do good. I mean, These kind of things, family, you can't make up. You just really can't make up. So enough of that nonsense. Let me tell you all about that great product that I'm always talking about, Naturally Glam Skincare and Cosmetics. And guess what? I just happen to have some right here. And what is this? This is the men's care line. This right here, family, the men's care line. She makes all natural. My wife, who the she I'm talking about, she makes all natural skincare products, men's skincare products, women's beauty products, or however you want to define it. And you can get these all online. You can also get sea moss juice and gel. It's all natural, no chemical base whatsoever. The product is so good, family. You can almost eat the product. You can. You can. If you get hungry enough and you ain't got nothing else to eat, it might look like a Ritz to you, and you can munch down on it. But she does have yoni steams for women. She has she just family, she just made a deodorant. She just made a deodorant. Now I have to get the reviews back on it on the people who tried it, but she did just make a deodorant. Great. She's always doing something. She's always doing something. She also has the men's beard creams. I use it all. And these things work wonders. They really do work wonders. So stop spending your money at the Walmarts, the Targets, the CVS's, the Walgreens, and keep the dollar in the family. And let's circulate that dollar, right? So I did want to put that out there about Natural Glam Skincare and Cosmetics, family. Support the small Black businesses. Now, let me just let you all know the remainder of this segment may get you down because of what's going on in this world. And let me remind you of the saying of the day. There shall be wars and rumors of wars. And we know what's going on right now with what POTUS has done, Donald Trump has done. We see the bombing that is going on with U.S. and Israel against Iran. So with that said, family, this next article is titled The Setup, Countdown to War. The Setup, Countdown to War. Now, approximately, family, 2 to 3 weeks ago, Iran put up a giant banner of a huge banner, family, of the Baphomet. So you got this huge banner of the Baphomet controlling Trump, Netanyahu, Epstein, and the person they call MBS, or Mohammed bin Salman, which are 4 world figures. So you got this Baphomet, right? And we know what the Baphomet is, that evil joker, pointing up and pointing down, looking like a goat, and got these different women parts and whatnot, and got them like puppets, just like this. And I'm not going to say allegedly because it's a true thing. You can Google it and look at it. You can read it and look at it. You can look at it on AP News. You can look at it on Newsbreak. You can look at it on Al Jazeera. You can see it. So approximately 2 or 3 weeks ago, family, Iran put up a giant banner of the Baphomet controlling Trump, Netanyahu, Epstein, and Mohammed bin Salman, which are 4 world figures. Now, above the picture, family, was written, "Down with pedophiles and killers." I'm looking at this, I'm like, wow, this is really something. Because I see this after I found out about the bombings. So now I'm starting to put things together. I'm starting to connect the dots. So let's try to connect these dots together, right? Above the picture was written, "Down with pedophiles and killers." So Iran in this picture is depicting these figures as part of a alleged group of corrupt, amoral global network, right? Manipulated by dark forces. But in this picture, why include Jeffrey Epstein? You already have, they're talking about themselves. Yeah, well, that too. But you already have uh, Mohammed bin Salman, or MBS as they call him, Trump, and Netanyahu. Then you have Epstein. But why Epstein? Epstein is not on their level as far as running a country. Why have Epstein on there? So why include Jeffrey Epstein on this demonic picture? Now, as I was doing some digging, Shalom, Miss Jackson, as I was doing some digging, family, Epstein's 2019 death and his connection to powerful elites sparked years of conspiracy theory. And by placing family Epstein with others on that picture makes it seem as though they are all allegedly tied to a corrupt system, right? Because we know what Epstein has done. We see the Epstein files have been released. We know about Epstein Island. So that's why they are tying Epstein with these world leaders, because they see allegedly some things that have been happening with the world leaders, with the powers that be. Now, Epstein's inclusion taps into conspiracy theories and public distrust of powerful elites. That's why they put his picture up there with those other three persons in question. Now, however, however, Donald Trump is so haughty, as we know, that he says a deal has to be reached or there will be consequences. Now, you know, family, Donald Trump, I mean, Donald Trump says anything. He would tell you anything. You know, a country could God forbid, but blow United States to smithereens, and Donald Trump would still come out and say that wasn't nothing. Y'all ain't did nothing to us. I'm telling you, you ain't did nothing. Get ready, cause now get ready. Now you messed up. You messed up now. Okay, you don't want any of this Trump. Okay, listen. So if you look up the picture that Iran put up of Trump, Netanyahu, Epstein, and Mohammed bin Salman, it is something to see. It is really something to see. It's almost a mural. That's how huge it is. I mean, no holds barred now. There's no holds barred. I mean, you almost can't come back from something like that. You almost can't. And it's so, I can't even say it's sad, family, from the things that we have seen come to fruition. Although the Epstein files, most things in there have been redacted, meaning blotted out. If you take your time to read it and read in between the lines, you can find some things out. But it's a deep rabbit hole, and that rabbit hole don't stop. It's names on there, and I've read some of it. It's names on there that you won't know unless they've been in the limelight. And some names you will know. Some names will shock you. Yeah, Trump is in a world of his own. He's in the world of his own. He thinks he cannot be untouched. He thinks that. He has that belief in his mind. For whatever reason unbeknownst to me. But as we know, anyone can be touched, allegedly. As we know, allegedly anyone can be touched. So let's let Trump stay in his own world. Meanwhile, we will stay in our world because we have entered the matrix, right? Once we rededicated our lives to Christ, and Christ, as the scriptures tell us, pulled the wool off of our eyes and woke us up. He picked us from the beginning. Those that he picked. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Woke us up. And that's why we have to endure to the end. But let Trump stay in his own lane. He's trying to build his own lanes. He says one thing and turn around and say another. I think that's why they got a Trump with the blue tie and a red tie, because they both say do two different things. Have you all noticed that? I have. But now, moving right along, that was the setup. All right. This next article, family, is titled War Strikes on Iran. the who, what, when, where, and why. I'm going to break all that down to you. What the heck is going on with this war, right? Now, if you don't know, because usually we know when things like this happen, general information. So I'm going to give you the who, what, when, where, why, and how, and what. I'm going to break it down to you right now. War strikes on Iran. Now, the question is, what happened? So I'll tell you what happened. Between February 28th, family, and March the 1st of 2026, the United States and Israel launched a coordinated series of military strikes on Iran, including airstrikes and bombardments across Tehran and other Iranian cities. These were among the most significant direct attacks on Iranian territory in decades, and family marked a major escalation in ongoing regional conflict. Explosions and sirens were reported across Iranian cities, including Tehran, Isfahan, Qom, Karaj, and Kermanshah, if I said those correctly. Now, Iran family retaliated, as we know, with waves of missiles and drone launches against Israel, U.S. forces, and several Gulf states. Now, the next question is, well, who was involved? Well, the attacking forces were the United States military, Air Force, bombers, and missiles, Israel Defense Forces. They have the Air Force fighters, jets, and missile strikes. These two acted in concert in the initial assault. Now, the targets in Iran were Iranian military infrastructures, government centers in Tehran, alleged strategic nuclear and ballistic missile facilities. And we say alleged right there because Iran allegedly don't have nuclear missiles or bombs, right? Now, there was retaliation. Ain't nobody, no country is just going to, you know, lay down and sit down while you're tearing them up, tearing their mouth out, right? So retaliation was by Iran. Now, Iranian ballistic missiles and drones fired at Israel and U.S. assets. Now, nothing came directly on U.S. soil, not as of yet, right? Now, there were air and missile strikes that did hit the Gulf Arab states, for example, Kuwait and Bahrain, which were hosting U.S. bases. Now, the next question is, when did this happen? Right? And I'm trying to answer these questions for us: the who, what, when, where, why, and how. The main bombardment by the U.S. and Israel began on February 28, 2026, and continued until March 1st, 2026. Retaliatory strikes by Iran commenced in response shortly after and have spread across the region. Now, the next question is why? Why did these strikes happen? Or motivations, right? We have a few key points here. Dismantle threats. Washington and Jerusalem say their actions were aimed at neutralizing imminent threats from Iran related to nuclear capabilities and ballistic missile programs. Also, prevent a nuclear weapons capability. The U.S. officials and Israeli leaders have long stated that preventing Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons is a central goal. I mean, I gotta laugh at that because it's like it's like they're saying one thing and still doing the same thing. They say that these people have these nuclear weapons. I'm pretty sure that the countries saying that Iran do have them. I mean, it's really crazy. But Iran's position in this, Iran sees the bombardment, especially the reported killing of its supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, I hope I said that right, as an act of war that justifies its own retaliation. Iranian leaders have said avenging these actions is a legitimate duty. Now, I I can't negate that, because if someone, or if a country, Iran, let's say Iran killed, allegedly, let's say Iran had killed Trump, then the United States would be all over Iran, right? So why wouldn't Iran be all over the United States for killing their leader? I mean, that just makes sense, right? So another question is, how were these strikes carried out? Well, there were airstrikes. There were also precision bombardments. So the airstrikes, the U.S. and Israel aircraft and missiles hit certain targets in many Iranian provinces. They hit military bases, defense systems, and command centers. My question is, family, why hasn't Iran retaliated even harder? If they killed, if U.S. or Israel killed the Iranian leader, why haven't they bombed the United States? There's something here that doesn't make sense to me. Can somebody explain that to me? Because we know that the United States has virgin soil, meaning outside the Revolutionary War, no war has been here. Even the good BIBLE tells us that. This is virgin soil. No, it has not tasted war. And this is a superpower. So we shall see. Only the future will tell. Now, there are some impacts and immediate consequences. We have casualties and damage, regional retaliation, and escalation risks, right? But I will get into that here shortly. Now, just to sum all of this up in context, these strikes, family, are a part of a wider and intensifying conflict that has roots in long-standing disputes over Iran's nuclear program, regional influence, and security concerns voiced by the United States, Israel, and their allies, spanning several years of negotiations, punitive actions, and military confrontations. Pardon me, family, my voice is still kind of hoarse from getting over this cold that I had, right? So, with that said, family, war strikes on Iran, the who, what, when, where, and why. Now, this does also have what is called trickle down effects, which I have made the next article. Trickle down effects. And it's really plain and simple. Yeah, you're probably right, sis. They probably do want the element of surprise. Yeah. You know, like you said, it's all in the Art of War. Yeah, it's all in that book. Element of surprise. But it really can't be too much of a surprise since it's prophecy, right? Iran has to be brought into the war. And once they're fully engaged, and once U.S. soil gets attacked, that's really all out war, World War III. But if you're covered by Christ, nothing to worry about. Because when you're persecuted in one city, flee to the next. Persecuted in one country, flee to the next. So let's get ready. Pardon. Now, the next article, family, trickle down effects. And where I was going with that is, we already know some trickle down effects if we know the effects of war, right? So gas prices. Gas prices, family, have already begun to surge. Gas prices are right now at $3 per gallon, but will jump soon if they haven't already. I'm sure in some places they have jumped. Crude oil surge, right? So crude oil will probably spike as much as 13%. Well, it actually spiked 13% on March the 2nd. And crude oil will probably go to about $100 per gallon, per barrel, right? If the supply continues to be crippled. Now, it also will hurt global logistics and travel. So if you're trying to travel, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea to travel during any time of war, because a lot of people hate Americans. And if they find out you're American and you're traveling, it might not look good for you. Now, over 11,000 flights, as a result of this, over 11,000 flights to and from the Middle East have been canceled since this war has started, these bombings, affecting over 1 million travelers, family. Major shipping firms like Maersk are rerouting their vessels, which will raise the prices of consumer goods. So what happens, family, is that since this war has started, maybe the Maersk, you've seen this Maersk on the ships, they can't travel the Suez Canal. They can't travel normal routes that they do. So they have to divert it a different way. This is part of the trickle down effect, which means since it's going to take longer to get the goods and products to consumers, consumers have to going to pay more because there's going to be more gas to spend to make that ship go. It's going to be longer time on the ocean. It's going to make the workers want more money. So everything affects everything. Trickle down effects. We also have, as I mentioned earlier, retaliatory strikes that Iran responded with missile and drone attacks targeting U.S. military assets. I mean, why wouldn't they? Like I said, they killed their leader. They killed their leader. But again, we have to expect these things. And that's why, if we're smart, we try to get ahead of places, right? Get ahead of things. Oh, Shalom, what's happening? I'm glad you're in the building. Hey, listen, we like you liking it here. That's what's up. Keep pulling up. Keep pulling up. But, as we always say, and common sense will tell you, stock up on stuff. Okay, you said you read today that Trump has left U.S. citizens to take flights via public. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Airports are closed. Hey, listen, it's a lot of stuff happening, and they're doing things to make us frightened. But if we have been doing our due diligence and doing our due service to each other, to ourselves, we have stocked up on things like agua, H2O, water, canned goods. We have stocked up on charcoal. We have these provisions for us. Maybe you stocked up on gasoline. I mean, we have to do this because we've been preaching this for a long time. We look at these what was that show called years ago? Doomsday Preppers. We've seen that show. And now look at them. They're laughing at people. People who got bunkers, underground homes. Not just the quote unquote elite, but just regular smuggler people who took the time to peep scene and see what's happening and prepare. Who's laughing now? They laughing. They got the last laugh. And most of us are trying to play catch up. But some of us have to be patient. Some of us have to be still because some of us are watchers. Some of us have places of refuge. Some of us have our ear to the ground, right? Yeah. See, you seeing small CB? Yeah. Oh yeah. You're right about that. Oh, you flying the Passover? Hey, the Most High got you. You covered. Don't worry about that. The Most High, even the Most High wants us all there at Passover. So don't worry about flying. You may change it to where you gotta drive, but even if you have to fly, you're gonna be fine. Not all flights are grounded. Not all flights. But this Passover is gonna be something, But back to the point at hand, we must be diligent in what we do. We cannot be stagnant. We see it coming. Sometimes it's coming fast, and sometimes it seems like it slows down. We know that the hearts of men have waxed cold. We see that. And therefore, we have to prepare ourselves. as I always keep saying, stay prayed up and fast. We have to. And we have to stay the course. We cannot freak out. And I'm saying this now, but God forbid, I could be one that kind of lose a little bit. But guess what? I have a gem for a wife. And she ain't gonna let me freak out. She might have to slap me, pow, to snap me back in place. But that's what she does. It's my help me. That's what she's supposed to do, right? So we just gotta be ready, family. This ain't nothing new to us. You know, we people of color. How they say we don't die, we multiply. We've always make it happen. Look at our ancestors. They came through chattel slavery. Look at our ancestors. We was in Egypt for a long time. We came through that. Let our people go. We made it. We here. The Most High has called us back, waking us up. Those dry bones are awake. So this got to happen. And it got to happen. The greatest story that ever been wrote. We living it. And we got the past as examples. So that way we can stay focused. Pick up our plow and keep it moving. Don't even look back. No regrets. No regrets. So before I go any further, family, I do want to go over a few things that I talked about. I did speak about the Georgia school shooting back in 2024 because Colin Gray, the father of Colt Gray, just got sentenced. And Colt Gray, I didn't mention this, Colt Gray has not been sentenced for the actual, he was the one who actually did the killing at the Apache High School in Georgia. I also mentioned family, excuse me, I'm looking through my notes here. Also mentioned, trying to say it in order of the order that I mentioned it in. What we at here? I also mentioned Naturally Glam, of course. The setup, the countdown to war. And then war strikes on Iran, the who, what, when, where, why, and how, if you didn't know. And last but not least, at this moment, I just mentioned the trickle-down effects of what happens when we go to war. When we go to war. Yeah, you're right. I hope they don't cancel no flights. I hope everyone has backup plans. You know, myself, me and my wife were driving with some other brother and sister and their family, the body. Yes, from where I'm at, it's gonna be a 16-hour drive, but it's 4 adults. We can break that up, 4 ways. I mean, personally, I would drive the whole 16 hours. I like to drive. I'd be exhausted, but I like to drive. I make it. I've done it before. So don't worry about Passover, family. We're gonna make it. We always do. Now, I do got some jokes for you all, but I do want to switch this up before I go to the jokes, family. And I want to ask you all, how'd y'all like that wake up challenge that's been going around? Wake up, wake up, wake up. Hey, listen, if y'all ain't seen it, I did one. Wake up, Israel. We gotta wake up. We gotta tell the people, yo, wake up. The Most High is waking up these dry bones. What are y'all doing out here? We gotta warn the people. Wake up. Tap your neighbor. Tell your neighbor. We gotta bring souls to the fold because as it's been said and it's been preached, as it's been said and it's been preached. Listen, the kingdom is coming. The kingdom is coming. The kingdom of God is at hand, and it's coming fast, faster than we think. Like Christ said, I come like a thief in the night. Boom, it's coming. It's gonna happen, whether we're ready or not. And what we're doing right now, we're practicing. We're practicing every day. We're coming out of her. We're coming out of that Egypt. We're coming out of that Babylon. We have to. Like Paul said, I die every day. And again, I'm not a preacher, but I read the scripture. I study to show myself approved because I ain't got no choice. As Paul said, I'm a prisoner to this. Once I rededicated my life to Christ, I'm a prisoner. You know why I'm a prisoner? I'm a prisoner because I'm going to be in heaven for eternity. Forever, ever, forever, ever, yes. Forever learning and praising the Most High and giving the Most High is just due honor and all glory and all praise to the Most High. Because without him, I don't know where I'd be. I'd probably be in a ditch somewhere. I'd probably be 6 feet under. I don't know. But somebody pray for me to get it right. And look what I'm doing. Shofar Radio. Current events with your boy, Big A. Aharon Yasharahla.
What's up, everybody? This your boy, Aharon Yasharahla from Shofar Radio, doing current events. I have been challenged by the beautiful Tahar on Shofar. And guess what? I'm challenging Sister Brittany from Chase Woman Magazine. So, wake up, Israel! Wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up! The time is down.
No more time to play.
Wake up,
your time is now.
Wake up, Israel! Wake up!
Light up for your daughter Israel.
Hey.
It's calling.
Shofar Radio,
No.
the place where you can find clean truth music that your whole family
Right.
can vibe to.
Right. Time is now. We ain't got no more time to be waiting. We don't know that. When we watch our favorite show on Sunday, and you know what I'm talking about, that favorite show on Sunday with our elder. They be bringing that heat. They're telling us what's going on. Because there ain't no other news like it. There's no other show like it in the world. So we got to wake up. We got to wake up. I mean, what else we gonna do? We got to preach this gospel. At least I try to. You know, little side note. There's this guy at my job named Josh. Yeah, he got a biblical name, Joshua. And Joshua, he looks, just because he's a darker skinned man, got a nice beard, he looks older than what he is. Joshua's only 28 years old. But one day he said to me, "My brother in Christ, what's up?" Caught my attention. Okay. And then I went to school. I went to work one day on the Shabbat because I had to get a little bit overtime. And they gave us some Chick-fil-A. And they actually, instead of getting chicken from Chick-fil-A, they got sausage sandwiches. I was like, I don't eat pork. And dude said the same thing. I don't eat no pork. Caught my attention again. I'm like, well, what's up with this young brother? So I approached him. And nah, he don't claim Israel. He don't know. But I've been schooling him. And guess what? He's receptive. And I say that because this was the Holy Spirit telling me, hey, him right there. Listen to how he's talking. He's very, very humble. So I gave him some literature about 12 tribes. I gave him the website. So he can go and I sowed the seed. And I talk to him every day. What's up, Josh? How you doing? You know, I told this young man when my born day was. It was on the 1st. I didn't do nothing. I was chilling. It was like one of the best days I had. I was on and off sleep. I was chilling in bed. Having some cheesecake, one of my favorites. And then, you know what this man said? When I got to work on Monday, he said, "Happy belated." I was like, whoa. This is my brother in Christ for real. Cause I was talking about birthdays, and I mentioned that way before my birthday. And the fact that he remembered said something. I was taken aback. I was astonished, actually. I was like, okay. This young brother right here, he will go hard for the Most High. Once I get into his ear more and see where he really at, because he's very receptive of things I tell him. All praises to the Most High. That was the Holy Spirit getting in my mind to talk to him. Now, I got some jokes for y'all, and I know that you like my corny dad jokes. Now, I don't have a whole lot, but I did write down a few. Right now, I hope you're ready, because I'm ready. Ready. I'm ready. Harlem Nights, if you ain't know. Anyway, now, why, family, did the mortgage broker go out of business? Why did the mortgage broker go out of business? Why did the mortgage broker go out of business? The mortgage broker went out of business because he lost interest. Get it? He lost interest. Oh, man. Now, I got another one. Now, DJ might get this one if DJ is on, or whenever he or she looks at it. Why was the DJ banned from the supermarket? Why was the DJ banned from the supermarket? Does anyone know? Why was the DJ banned from the supermarket? Well, I'll tell you why. The DJ was banned from the supermarket because he was stealing all the samples. Get it? DJ, were they samples? He was stealing all the samples? Supermarkets have samples? Oh, man. Got a couple more for you. Now, family, what do you call a fat psychic? What do you call a fat psychic? A psychic, not a sidekick. What do you call a fat psychic? Yeah, that's why I call them dad jokes. They're supposed to be corny. What do you call a fat psychic? You call a fat psychic a fortune teller. A fortune teller? Fat psychic? A fortune teller? You can't tell me that ain't funny. A fortune teller. Fat guy. Anyway, last one, family. Last one I got for you. What word in the dictionary is always spelled wrong? What word in the dictionary is always spelled wrong? This is the easy one. It's easy. What word in the dictionary is always spelled wrong? The answer is wrong. Wrong is always spelled wrong. Absolutely, Ms. Jackson. You got that one. And it's all about active listening. If you're listening, you will get it. That's all the little jokes that I have for this evening, family. I mean, it's always a pleasure. It is no. I got one more. I'm gonna give you this last one. And you might think this is really corny. But what goes 99 thump, 99 thump, 99 thump? What goes 99 thump, 99 thump, 99 thump? What goes 99 thump, 99 thump, 99 thump? It is a centipede with a wooden leg. Get it? Centipede has 100 legs, but it has 99 wooden legs, 99 thump, 99. Anyway, the dad jokes, they're corny, but you love them. Oh, man. Family, hey, it is a blessing. It's really a blessing to be on this stage, the best radio station there ever has been, ever will be, is always evolving, always bringing about new and better things, new and better ideas, always uplifting, doing things in the community, raising people up. It is magnificent. So we need to put people on to this radio show. We really do, especially those who love truth and truth music and like to eat right and live right and like to be around like-minded individuals. So we need to promote this radio station, family. We need to promote each other, uplift each other in the name of Christ. Right? So I want to thank everyone for always tuning in. I want to thank those who came here for the first time. All praises to the Most High that you found it. And continue to come and spread the word. Tell people, don't be scared. We are living prophecy. These things have to happen. We have to go through these perilous times. And more perilous times are coming. Perilous times are not just, you can't pay this bill, pay that bill. You're tired, flat, got to put your car in the shop. That's just life. Because things that man have made are going to break down. The only thing that's not going to break down is the word. the Most High, his word, Christ, the Ruach, those things will not break down. And we must endure so we won't break down. We got to endure to the end, whether it's the end when Christ comes back or it's the end of our timeline. But either way, we must endure because we don't have no choice since we are of the Most High through Christ. With that, family, I want to say thank you. I love you for listening to me, tuning in, laughing at my corny jokes, rolling your eyes at my corny jokes, hating my corny jokes. I mean, it's worth it. If I can just come up here and be on this platform, it's worth it. So, again, stay prayed up. Love your neighbor. And most high willing, I will see you all again next week.
All praise be to the Most High. It's Kings of Rock, Volume 1. Let's start this album out with some prayer. We're gonna lay our hearts out before the Most High. Just lift your hands wherever you at, man. Let us pour our hearts out one time. For real. I got a stain on my white garment. I do. Can you clean it for me? Can you clean it for me? I got a stain on my white garment. Can you clean it for me? Clean it for me. Can you wash me as white as snow? 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 Have mercy upon me, O Ahiah, according to thy loving kindness. According unto the multitude of thy tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity, and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Against thee, thee only, have I sinned, and done this evil in thy sight, that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest, and be clear when thou judgest. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part thou shalt make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken might rejoice. Please, please, please. Hide thy face from thy sins, and blot out all my iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O Ahiah, and renew a right spirit within me, Ahiah. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. Please, restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. In the mighty name of Yeshua. I got a stain on my white garment. I got some stains on my garment. Can you clean it for me? I got some greed on my garment. I got some stain on my white garment. I got some lust on my garment. Can you clean it for me? Can you wash me as white as snow? Can you wash me as white as snow? Nobody else that can do it.
Current affair. Yeah, with Big A. Wake up, tap in, Big A back in. Headlines, hard facts, cut through the spin.